The NBA rounds into conference semifinals round, and we go with the list. Go Sports presents On the Daily. How you doing, everyone? Cole Johnson here on the Daily on Tap, presented by Cole Sports. Thank you for coming back to my channel on YouTube. And if you want this shirt that I'm wearing, all you have to do is go into the description box below and click on the link that has this shirt that you just saw. And now let's dispense with all of the pleasantries and just warm up, shall we? And we're going to warm up with the NBA playoffs. So in the Eastern Conference, we have the Heat and the Bucks. They're about to match up. We have the Celtics and the Raptors already matching up. In fact, they played game one yesterday, and the Celtics handed the Raptors a good butt whooping. So the Eastern Conference semifinals are all set, and they're underway. The Western Conference, on the other hand, it's a little bit different. The Lakers have advanced, but they're waiting the winner between the Thunder and the Rockets. The Rockets are up 3-2. And if I'm not mistaken, they're playing tonight. The Clippers, they have also advanced. They went by the Mavericks, winning their series 4-2. They await the best series in the first round and possibly the best series of the playoffs. I highly doubt this will be topped. The Jazz and the Nuggets. And why do I say that? Look at the two superstars on each squad. You have, for the Nuggets, Jamal Murray. This might be his coming out party. This series, listen to this stat line: 31 points, 7 assists. He's shooting over 55% from the field, over 50% from three, and he's hitting over 90% from the free throw line. Now, not to be outdone is the Jazz Donovan Mitchell. 38 points, 6 assists, over 55% from the field as well, over 50% from three as well, and he is shooting from the charity stripe at a 95% clip. Well, Game 7 is tonight. I look forward to this. I mean, it may be just as good, if not better, than the first 6 games, but then hopefully we will not be disappointed. But I will say this: we are in for a treat. Either team that advances, of course, they'll end up playing the Clippers. They're going to give the Clippers a really hard time. I think we've warmed up quite considerably, and let's get to the main event. Now, I'm going to do this a little bit different, and I say a little bit different because, well, we try to break from the norm. And in this case, what we're doing is we're going to talk about Chadwick Boseman. Now, you're saying, wait a minute, Hollywood actor? You mean King T'Challa from the Black Panther and all of that? Yes, I'm going to talk about him because he does have a hard link to sports. And today's edition of The List talks about that. Let's get to it. So obviously he's played other roles in his career. And for those who are wondering why am I talking about him, unfortunately, over the past weekend, this wonderful young man, this actor who is absolutely extraordinary, unfortunately passed away to colon cancer at 43. And it's just amazing that this wonderful life got snuffed so early. But just look at the litany of roles he played. He played James Brown in Get On Up. He played Thurgood Marshall in Marshall. And of course, the iconic role that he will be always known for is King T'Challa, good Lord, easy for me to say, King T'Challa in the Black Panther series. And of course, along with it, he co-starred in Captain America Civil War in 2016, The Avengers Infinity War 2018, Avengers Endgame in 2019. And of course, the Black Panther movie that he had the top billing in grossed over $1 billion in 2018. But I'm not talking about his career in the Hollywood realm in other roles. He actually played prominent sports roles. Yeah, Chadwick Boseman. Of course, he's a sports fan, but he also played sports roles. Take, for example, The Express. Now, I know. He did not play the title role. That was Rob Brown. Rob Brown played, of course, the Syracuse 1961 Heisman Trophy winner, Ernie Davis. And I'll talk about him in a minute. But, of course, it starred him, Dennis Quaid, and Nicole Beharie. Now, The Express, it was based on a true story of Ernie Davis. He was a two-time All-American. He, as I said, won the Heisman Trophy in 1961. He was drafted by the Browns in 1962. Unfortunately, during training camp, he was diagnosed with leukemia. And of course, unfortunately, not even 7, maybe 8 months after that, he unfortunately passed away due to leukemia. Now, the role that Boseman played was Syracuse All-American later on in that decade in the 60s, Floyd Little. Now, some of you might know, some of you might not know. He was a 3-time All-American in Syracuse. He's known popularly in Syracuse. He's also known popularly in Denver because he had a 9-year career with the Broncos. And I would be remiss if I did not call him what he is, which is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. So yes, Boseman played Floyd Little. Wasn't a huge role, but in 2008, when he was getting his foot wet and building his resume, well, I mean, it proved well because he parlayed that and has done even more since then. Another sports role he played, Draft Day. Now, this was a fictitious story based on a GM's life through when he gets the understanding that he's going to have the #1 overall draft pick till draft day in the war room and all points in between. Now, that movie starred, amongst others, Kevin Costner and Jennifer Garner. Now, the movie was considered a box office failure. I mean, it had a budget of $25 million, but it only took in $29 million. Now, in that role, he didn't play anybody particular. He was a potential draft choice and a potential draft pick. And that was in 2014. But got his feet wet and played another sports role. Now, when it comes to sports roles and Chadwick Boseman, we all know him for playing the title character, Jackie Robinson, in the film 42. And that was the 2013 movie. He starred in it along with Harrison Ford and Nicole Beharie. And that role, or I should say that movie, took us through the journey of Jackie being selected in the Negro Leagues by Branch Rickey of the Brooklyn Dodgers. And he was one tasked to, quote, break the baseball color barrier. And he did. Now, the movie takes you through to when he was selected in 1945. Slight stopover in the minor league system getting, I guess you could say, propped and geared for major league life in minor leagues, playing in Montreal, I think the AAA system, in 1946. Most of the movie takes place in 1947, the landmark rookie season of Jackie Robinson. Now, there is a scene where Branch Rickey, who was played by Harrison Ford, he mentions to Jackie to actually have the courage to not fight back against bigots and racists in the stands when they would either throw stuff at him, spit on him, or, of course, call him racial epithets out the wazoo. And the character Harrison Ford, I should say, the character Branch Rickey, tested out the theory. He wanted to see if Robinson could break, and He mentioned a couple of racial slurs, and you could see in the way Boseman was playing Robinson, you could see him buck up a little, wanted to throw a punch at him, but he resisted. The scene that makes me forever love Chadwick Boseman as an actor didn't come in Black Panther, didn't come in Marshall, didn't come in Get On Up. It came in 42. There was a scene where Robinson quartered him out, and he frustratedly walks off the field, walks in the dugout, doesn't really say anything to anybody, walks past everyone in the dugout, walks into the tunnel that goes to the clubhouse, and in the midst of the tunnel, you hear him anguishedly scream and slam his bat and basically broke his bat in 2 and 3 pieces. I felt the anger. I felt the anger of having to swallow all the stuff that he definitely wasn't, but he channeled that anger of, I'm being insulted and I can't fight back, better than I could have ever imagined anybody play that role. The movie was considered a critical success. The budget was $40 million. It grossed almost $100 million, and he did a wonderful job in it. Now, along with those roles, he also had a hand in sports in general. Take, for instance, the 2018 slam dunk competition, when Boseman himself, sitting courtside, handed Victor Oladipo, one of the contestants, the Black Panther helmet. And he donned it and he did a windmill dunk, two-handed windmill dunk at that. Take, for instance, the last public appearance that I can remember him having, which would be the 2020 slam dunk competition, where he was a judge, one of the 5. And, well, thank you, Dwayne Wade, for ruining that, because, well, because of that, people wanted to gloss over the slam dunk competition, but it was good to see him there. Now, he's taken many pictures, some with LeBron James, some with Kobe Bryant, some with other sports figures. He is, or I should say was, a sports fan du jour. He really enjoyed sports. He enjoyed the atmosphere. He enjoyed the arena. He enjoyed being in the place to be, and he loved being around athletes. No question about that. Now, imagine having him do all of this. The appearances he had, the movies that I mentioned, starting from Captain America Civil War. He had colon cancer in 2016. Imagine him doing all of what he did between that and Make-A-Wish appearances and being the positive influence that he was. Full of pain, but he still persevered. That tells you the mark of the man that he is. Remarkable. Remarkable. He showed quiet grit, he showed quiet determination, and he was positive. In fact, one MTV award he actually gave to the hero of the Waffle House shooter that he stopped. And so Boseman gave that guy Boseman's award. I mean, it's just he just was a giving soul. Just the understated grace of him at all times is what I believe is the mark that he will forever leave, like Cindy Poitier 50 and 40 years ago. It's a wonder that we wanted to criticize this man, but he was going through such pain. But thank you for being such a superhero, sir, because that you were. Chadwick Boseman, actor, the sports enthusiast, superhero, dead at the age of 43. But my brother, you will always live on. If you happen to have liked all you've heard or seen, definitely pass this on. Like, subscribe, and share to this page and this channel. And take in all of what Cole Sports has to offer on the daily, Cole Sports, and other things that Cole Sports has to offer. Thank you so much for your patronage, your time, your attention, and I look forward to doing this again. So share it all, subscribe, like, and I want to hear what you have to say. Comment below what you believe about Chadwick Boseman. How did he impact you? Because he impacted me in a big way. And that is all the time I have. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. I am Cole Johnson, here to say that this is yet another installment of Cole Sports on the visual and on the daily.